remember the phrase, a Kodak moment. For decades, it meant a personal, precious memory worth capturing and preserving forever. It wasn't just a slogan, it was a cultural phenomenon, a testament to the power of a company that defined photography for over a century. Kodak wasn't just a brand, it was woven into the fabric of American life, a blue-chip behemoth that seemed as permanent as the memories it helped create. This is the story of how America's storyteller captured the world, and then, in a tragic twist of fate, failed to see the future it had invented. The story begins with a man named George Eastman, a high school dropout and bank clerk from Rochester, New York. In the late 1870s, photography was a cumbersome, messy affair, reserved for professionals with heavy equipment and a deep knowledge of chemistry. Eastman saw a different future. He envisioned a world where anyone, regardless of skill, could take a picture. His breakthrough came in 1888 with the introduction of the first Kodak camera. It was a simple black box that came preloaded with a 100 exposure roll of film. And its marketing was pure genius. You press the button, we do the rest. This wasn't just a product, it was a revolution. For a mere $25, you could buy the camera, take your 100 photos, and then mail the entire device back to Kodak's factory in Rochester. There, they would develop the film, print the photos, and send them back to you along with your camera, reloaded with a fresh roll of film. It was an astonishingly simple and powerful business model. Suddenly, photography was no longer the exclusive domain of the elite or the technically savvy. It was for everyone. The family vacation, the birthday party, the first day of school, all of these fleeting moments could now be immortalized. Eastman didn't stop there. In 1900, Kodak released the Brownie camera, selling for just $1. It was designed to be so simple and affordable that even a child could use it. The Brownie camera was a runaway success, selling millions of units and cementing photography as an indispensable part of everyday life. For the next 75 years, Kodak dominated the industry. It perfected color film with its iconic Kodachrome line, beloved by professionals for its rich, vibrant colors. The company's business model was a razor and blade strategy, perfected. They sold the cameras, the razors, cheaply, and then made a fortune selling the highly profitable film, chemicals, and paper. The blades needed to make the pictures. By the mid-1970s, Kodak held an estimated 90% share of the film market and 85% of the camera market in the United States. Its iconic yellow and red logo was recognized globally. The company was an innovation powerhouse, a trusted brand, and one of the most valuable corporations in the world. They are on top of the world, seemingly untouchable. But deep within the halls of Kodak's own research labs, a disruptive force was brewing. And in one of the greatest ironies in business history, Kodak itself invented the very technology that would ultimately lead to its downfall. In 1975, a young Kodak engineer named Steve Sasson created something extraordinary, the world's first digital camera. It was a clunky, toaster-sized device that weighed 8 pounds. It captured a black and white image with a resolution of 0.01 megapixels and took 23 seconds to record it onto a cassette tape. When Sasson presented his invention to Kodak's executives, their reaction was lukewarm. They asked him, "That's cute, but don't tell anyone about it." Why the resistance? Fear. Kodak's entire empire was built on film. The executives saw digital photography not as an opportunity, but as a direct threat to their incredibly profitable film business. They were in the chemical and paper business, not the electronics business. The idea of filmless photography was horrifying because it would destroy the razor and blades model that had made them so rich. They were worried about cannibalizing their own sales. So, instead of leading the digital revolution they had started, they chose to bury it. They viewed Cézanne's invention as a novelty, a distant threat that might become relevant in a decade or two. They believed they would have plenty of time to adapt when the moment came. Throughout the 80s and 90s, Kodak continued to focus on its film business, treating digital as a side project. They spent billions trying to perfect a hybrid system that combined film and digital, but they refused to fully commit to the new paradigm. They were trapped by what business theorists call the innovator's dilemma. They were so successful with their existing model that they were institutionally incapable of embracing a disruptive technology that would render that model obsolete. They were managing for quarterly profits, not for long-term survival. Meanwhile, the world wasn't waiting. Competitors like Sony, Canon, and Nikon, unburdened by a legacy film business, jumped into the digital space with both feet. By the late 1990s, digital cameras were becoming smaller, better, and cheaper. The quality was improving at a dizzying pace. The tipping point came in the early 2000s. Suddenly, digital cameras were everywhere. People loved the instant gratification, no more waiting for film to be developed. You could see your photos immediately, delete the bad ones, and share them online. The market shifted with breathtaking speed. For Kodak, the collapse was swift and brutal. Film sales, the lifeblood of the company, plummeted. From 2003 to 2011, the company lost money in all but 1 year. Desperate, they tried to pivot, launching their own line of digital cameras and photo printers. But it was too little, too late. The market was already crowded with established players, and Kodak's brand, once synonymous with innovation, now felt old and outdated. They had missed the boat. The company that had once employed over 145,000 people began massive rounds of layoffs. The city of Rochester, which Kodak had built, was devastated. The final, humiliating blow came on January 19th when Eastman Kodak, the 130-year-old icon of American industry, filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy. The fall of Kodak is a classic cautionary tale taught in business schools around the world. It's a story of corporate arrogance and the catastrophic failure to adapt. Kodak wasn't destroyed by a competitor. It was destroyed by its own complacency. They invented the future, but were too afraid of it to lead the way. They were so focused on protecting their legacy business that they failed to see that the world was changing right under their noses. The Kodak moment had passed, replaced by the Instagram post and the Facebook album. Today, a smaller, leaner Kodak has emerged from bankruptcy, focused on commercial printing and advanced materials. But it is a shadow of its former self. Its story serves as a stark reminder that in the fast-paced world of technology, no company is too big to fail. Success can breed complacency. And the very things that made you successful in the past can become the anchors that drag you down in the future. The legacy of Kodak is not just in the billions of photos stored in our family albums. It's in the crucial lesson that innovation isn't just about inventing something new. It's about having the courage to embrace the change that follows, even if it means letting go of the world you once dominated. Thanks for watching. If you found this story interesting, please like this video and subscribe to our channel for more deep dives into the stories that shaped our world.